Hi, I'm Mike,
I'm Pete.
and this is Call of Duty 3 on the Xbox 360. What can we say about Call of Duty 3, Pete? It looks bloody amazing. You're our Call of Duty expert. You obviously devoted a ridiculous amount of time to Call of Duty 2. We do love
War
it.
games are absolutely brilliant.
They are.
That's the bottom line. Call of Duty was the best war game I've ever played.
Bold.
And I was dead excited about Call of Duty 3 because of that. And it's just not quite as good, is it?
See, this is where we differ on opinion, man. I think it's as good, if not better.
There are definitely areas of improvement. There's no doubt about that. This is more intense. It's better looking. It's got bigger explosions. It's got more explosions. It's got more stuff to do in it, and I think we might differ on how good some of that stuff to do is.
Yeah.
But it's all action, and it does a better job of creating like the chaos, the confusion, disorientation of what I'd imagine wars to be like, having not actually been in one.
Yeah, I mean, I know for sure now that I don't ever want to be in one.
No.
And that's with all the aids that you get in Call of Duty 3. Obviously, you've got the auto aim that was apparent in Call of Duty 2, but it's upped massively,
Yeah.
isn't it? In Call of Duty 3,
Yeah.
you literally just as soon as you pull the left trigger to aim, it pretty much locks on to whoever's nearby, and you can just keep doing that and quite easily take down a vast group of jerrys. So I would say it's easier than Call of Duty 2. Would you agree with me there? Or?
Yes, I would, and I think on Veteran as well, it has been toned down a little bit.
Yeah,
the
certainly.
difficulty setting on that. On normal, you'll go through it pretty easy. I think people who played Call of Duty 2 and loved it and really got stuck into it are going to probably want to go straight into hard or Veteran in this version.
Now, obviously, this time round, it's been developed by Treyarch and not Infinity Ward. Treyarch obviously doing Big Red One on the Xbox. And because of that, it does feel much more like a console shooter than the fact that Call of Duty was more of a PC type thing. And it actually reins in on a few of your set abilities, doesn't it? This is the thing. I remember in Call of Duty 2, you could literally vault over pretty much anything as soon as you got up to it. Press A, over you go, and you can continue.
Yeah.
You can't do that now.
I think a lot of the levels throughout, they're all sort of flattened and tightened. You know, Call of Duty 2 was linear, but there was moments where it opened up.
Sure.
This is far more closed in, and like you say, it's flat. You don't jump up. You can't smash through windows and jump through.
Yeah.
Or vault over walls. There's a lot more invisible walls in the game. There's a lot more invisible walls.
There we are.
Yes, in this one, which is kind of irritating.
Yeah, I mean, I think what pissed me off the most about it was the fact that sometimes, obviously, like we say, you can't vault anything you want, but sometimes there's context-sensitive actions, aren't there, where you've got to press X to open a door. Like, doors aren't open. You don't open doors yourself. You never have done really in Call of Duty 2. It's always been wait for one of the NPCs to come along and let you progress in the level. But a couple of points in Call of Duty 3, you actually have to do it yourself, or you have to climb over some sandbags. And without being told that this is a possibility beforehand, you're just left there thinking, well, have I completed my objective? And you're searching for an impossible means to march onwards.
And then suddenly a little cursor will pop up because
Yeah.
you've stood in the right puddle by it or something.
Exactly, and that's a bit of a slap in the face, really. I mean, we talked about earlier about how there's a few new elements that we differ on, and one of those is a Far Cry Instincts sort of style driving section, where you literally get to jump in a Jeep. NPCs all with you firing guns off the back, and you literally drive from A to B. It's linear as you like, isn't it? As well.
It's rubbish.
See, I don't think it is. I think it's rubbish if you don't do it very well. I think it's rubbish.
BA.
I'm not saying you didn't do it
Oh,
very
BA.
well. I'm just saying, but if you effortlessly go through, then it's quite short, so it's never too much of a hindrance, or it wasn't for me. And B, it looks pretty cool. You've got explosions blasting off all over the
But
place.
it doesn't.
Gone over jumps.
It doesn't fit. While you're on these on-rail sections, whether you're on the back shooting or you're actually driving it, it's simple. It's easy. There's no feeling of vulnerability.
Yeah.
It really is like you've got a tiny bit of interaction in quite an impressive cutscene. It's only there just to show you a different slice of war, I suppose, and that's fine. But in a game which is mostly kind of quite gritty, quite brutal, quite about taking cover and really sort of brutal in your face action. For me, it didn't fit. I felt I'd been taken out of this sort of.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you that. I mean,
intense
the levels that it comes onto, you've got sort of like a central hub and almost a GTA style like map where you can drive around wherever you want. but there's no real point to it. You've only got you've got an objective that you've got to get to, and that's it. You can go elsewhere, but what's the point?
Yeah.
And again, it's restricted in the fact that you can't get out of the Jeep. You know, you can't do anything.
You get out
you're
when
stuck
it
in
tells you.
Yeah, which is a shame. I mean, the other thing that they've brought into this is this close combat, this close quarters combat, which is
It looks good on the videos.
yeah, but it's
kind of do it.
I mean, it only happens about 5 times in the actual game, doesn't it? And basically, you know, you get jumped from behind a wall. From you know, the guy that jumps you I reckon it's the same guy.
Yeah.
But this sneaky bastard that jumps you, you have no idea he's there. He literally comes out of nowhere, grabs your gun, and you're wrestling him. And you know, the way control-wise it works is you're batting the left and right triggers back and forth as fast as you can, and then flashes up on screen, press A, press Y, press B or whatever to finish him. Press that and it's done. It all looks kind of impressive in a first-person sort of view. I mean, a couple of times you fall back through a window or you pull a grenade on
scripted toing and throwing, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's never any threat, is it? You never feel like I'm going to lose this. It's always just done and gone. In the same way that I suppose everything in Call of Duty pretty much is, you know. But it looks very nice. I mean, it does look beautiful.
It does look great. The textures have been ramped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks fabulous, and there's a lot more stuff that seems to be going on all the time. Yeah, every time you move, some of these explosions, there's bullets. You get tanks coming in. You got a ton of enemies coming on.
I mean, there's hundreds of enemies in there. There's literally so many people on screen at any one time. To me personally, it's like WW2 The Ride. You know, if Universal Studios did a World War II ride, this is where it'd be. I hope they don't, because that's probably not in best taste. You know, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's very good. Done.